I have thousands of on-card baseball autographs. How did I do it? Find out on today's episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the studio. Today's Baseball King Collectibles, we got a little bit of a different show today. We're going to really talk about how I did it. How did I accumulate so many autographs? But before I get to that, I want to thank all of my new wrestling fans who have joined the channel and subscribed. That's right, wrestling fans. Hey, I'm wearing my NWO shirt just for you guys. All right, thank you for joining the show. Hopefully you like baseball too, but NWO, WCW, WWE, all that WWF. I've been a fan for years. I've been following that for years. My son as well. But like I say, I'm the baseball king, so we don't do too much wrestling, but we will feature some wrestling on the show every now and then, and it brought us a lot of new subscribers. So thank you so much for joining the channel, and I hope you stick around for a while with us. So let's get to today's topic. How did I do it? How did I possibly accumulate literally thousands of baseball autographs? And it was not that easy, but it was easy after a while, okay? I'll explain. First, be prepared. Just no different than the Boy Scout, the Cub Scout. You got to be prepared, guys. It's simple preparation. You got to have cards first, or photos, or a ball. All you really need is a ball, because you can get a whole team signed ball. You don't have to know anybody. You don't even have to know who the player is to get your card out, and you just, here's my ball, can you sign it, please? So if you just want to work on a team ball, really simple. You can get a lot more signatures that way than any other way, because you don't even have to identify the player. You just say, can you sign for me, please? And they do. So, but you have to know, who's who and who's what. Yeah, that's where information comes in. Information is the key to all. Really, without information, you're starting from square one. So you got to know where the players come in from. You got to know where the players, how they arrive to the park. Do they take the bus? Do they take a cab? And this is I'm talking about visiting or home. Home team mostly will drive their own cars, more or less. And they usually have a parking lot set up in the stadium for the home team to get all that. But like I say, you need the information. You got to know where they're coming, when they're coming, because the time involved too. You don't want to be there 8 o'clock in the morning till game time. You want to, be too many hours there. You really don't need to spend too many hours with this either. It's within a 2-hour time frame. You could see almost every player, really, depending on the team. But you got to know the schedule of when the home team comes in for batting practice. If you want to just work on the home team, all right, just work on the home team only. I say you're a Met fan. Like I used to go to Shea Stadium a lot, Yankee Stadium a lot. It's really easy. You get there, say the game starts 7:30. You get there 2-3 o'clock is about the time. All right. And by 4:30, you're out of there. You're going home, or you want to go to the game. But to get to the home team, really, they all had a parking lot. In Shea Stadium, the players had 2 ways to get in to play. They went through the Diamond Club, which was the main entrance. There was a parking lot in front. And then they had a parking lot around the back through the scoreboard entrance, and Shea Stadium was wide open in the back, and they had a big parking lot back there for the players as well. And once they're in there, you couldn't get their autographs unless they wanted to give you their autograph. They would come up to the fence. So it was not many collectors stood over there in that area, and it was very easy to get the Met players over and over and over and over. You can get them multiple times every day if you wanted to. Some guys like Jeff Kent, he would sign Howard Johnson. They would sign all the time. So you got to know where they come in from. Or some through the Diamond Club. Some get dropped off by a cab. Some guys live in the city. They take a cab. You got to get to know, like I said, information. That's really the key. So once you know all that, it's a little easier because you're going to know where to stand, where to stay, and where to go. So Shea Stadium for the Mets, Citi Field now, I guess. There's a player's entrance. That's it. There's only 1 or 2 ways in. You just know which way they're coming from. You just know, you watch the cars pull up. You watch who pulls in, and and you get to talk to other collectors too. If you first time going there, stick to the background a little bit, but just try to get, in you with the other collectors. Information. They will share it with you if you be nice to them. If you have an extra card and you want to, hey, I have an extra card to this guy if you don't have one. A little trades like that. You're getting good with people. It really, really helps, and that really helped my autograph collecting career, because if I just stood to myself and did my own thing, I would have lost out on a lot of signatures over the years. So information, share information, all that, and you got to, like I said, knowing where the players come in, when the home team takes batting practice a little earlier, so they're all going to arrive. The home team is in by 3:30, 4 o'clock. The home team is in because they're on the field by 4 o'clock, so they got to they got to get dressed and all that. So they're early. So if you want the home players, get there early, wait by the parking lots, the main entrance. Bring 2, 3 cards, 4 cards of each player. It don't matter how many you bring of each player, depending how many people are there. If there's a big crowd there, you be thankful you get 1 signature. If there's not too big a crowd there, you can push your luck and get 2 or 3 or 4. But this is how I got my autographs on baseball cards. What I would do, I would take a clipboard like this, okay? Very simple. Put a paper towel under the clips and then put the cards under that as well, so nothing's getting scratched. And even if it was, we're not getting damaged. We're not using expensive cards to get autographed anyway. All right. So you put it like this. It makes it so much easier for the player to just hold. You just hold it for them like this, and they'll sign. It's so simple. Versus the card in their hand. If they have to take the card and in their hand and cup it and sign it, it's more difficult. So clipboard. The easiest thing. Make sure you have a clipboard. You could even, I had a shorter one like this, but the longer one comes in handy if you want to get an 8x10 sign. Like, say you have an 8x10. I have this Abdul-Jabbar right here. Same thing. Just stick it under there, hold it out. Easy to sign. You could even way out. You could go with it. You can really lean out far if there is a crowd, and they will sign this first because it's just easier for them. They know it. They don't want to grab things. They just want to sign. So the easier you make it for the signature, the better chance you'll get that signature signed. All right. So that's a really another a key to it. Just like I said, it's all about preparation and all that. So that's another preparation tip. Is a clipboard. Very handy. Very, very handy. All right. For the visitors, it's a little different, very different for the visitors than for the home team. The visitors, unless somebody's hurt, if they're hurt and they're coming in for treatment, they'll get to the park a little early. But on most cases, the visitors don't start arriving till 2 o'clock. And they'll be one at a time that way because they're not all coming in a group. The bus comes at 4:30 usually. That was more or less the set time, 3 hours before the game. So on the bus, if you wait for the bus, you're going to get a bunch of guys, whoever you don't see. I mean, really, you're seeing everybody who's coming by cab or by the train station. There's a train station around the bend on Chase Stadium. A lot of guys would take the trains, a lot of the rookie guys. So depending where you wanted to stay, one day you stay by the train. If you go for the next game, you stay by the main entrance where the players would all enter to and from. So things like that. You just had to be aware of where to stand. If you commit yourself to the train station, you're getting all the rookies and the young guys. And occasionally a couple stars do take the train. But most of the young guys, they want to experience the train of New York. So that's how it was in New York. I don't know if there's any trains in any other cities, but if not, just stick to your players' entrances. That's where they're going to come. Watch for the cabs. Watch for other collectors. Where other collectors? There's always going to be other collectors. I don't care what stadium. There's 1 or 2. Where are they? All right? Follow them around. All right? Just keep them in mind. All right? Always keep an eye on the other collectors because they'll know where to go. And they'll direct you in that direction as well. So if you're nice, be nice. That's the thing. Be nice. Always be nice to the collectors, the players, whoever. It's just, you shouldn't have to tell you that. All right? For the visitors, though, like I said, if you want to get them at the park, get there around 2 o'clock, 2:30. For the guys who are injured, like I got Ken Griffey Jr. one day. He was coming in for treatment. He was at 12 o'clock. We had nothing to do. Me and my son said, hey, let's just sit in the car. Well, whoever comes, you never know. Coaches come, announcers come early. Be prepared with cards for coaches and for announcers as well. There's a lot of major league coaches, major league players are now on the coaching staffs and the announcers too. There's a lot of big name announcers out there, guys. You should know that. Know your announcers. You can look them up on Google easily and find out every announcer for every team and bring their cards as well because they're the best signers, the announcers. They're great. These are retired guys. They have all the time in the world. They'll talk to you. They'll stand out there and chat with everybody. So things like that is also keep in mind. So the visitors, you could get there 2 o'clock. Pretty much is a solid time. If you want to, 2:30, even 3 o'clock. Very rare you'll see somebody before 3 o'clock other than the manager and the coaches. So if you want the managers and the coaches, get there for 2 o'clock. Get there an hour. They'll arrive before the players. Some managers are crazy. They'll arrive 11 in the morning. You'll never see them unless you want to really put in the time for that one person. But as far as the other players go, between 2 and 2:30, and pretty much, they'll start coming in at that time one at a time. Through cab or through the train, which you wouldn't know depending where you are. But you could stay, there's a middle gap there at Chase Stadium, it was a circular, where you kind of see both the train and, if you see the train pulling in, you look to see who's coming off. You see no one coming off, you go back to the other area where the players would come in from. And the train only came like one every 20 minutes. So then you go back, wait for another train you see. And that's how you did back and forth and back and forth. There was a lot of running around at the Shea Stadium. Other stadiums, no, it's probably a one in and one out because it's designed the way it is. You know, there was no train station. Shea Stadium had back entrance, front entrance. So it was a lot of ways, a lot of players, because who knows? I never saw them. You know, they came to the park, but we never saw some people. And how come? Because either they got there early or went into a different entrance that we weren't waiting for. You could also get visiting players very easily at the hotel. All right, how? You find out the hotel they're staying at. Again, information is the key. Not hard to find out. Google search or call up the team. Ask them, hey, where's the team staying? I want to stay at the same hotel they are because, you know, it's really cool to stay with the same team. And they'll tell you that. It's not a big deal. You know, but you could just stay out in Manhattan. It was the Grand Hyatt Hotel. For years, they used that hotel. All the teams, except for maybe 2 or 3 American League teams. Almost every team used the Grand Hyatt Hotel. Very popular. Did a couple of private signings up there, too, with a couple of players back in the day. It was really cool. But most of the players stayed there. So you could just stand out in the front entrance. You can't go in the hotel, of course. They'll throw you right out. And you don't want to go in. You know, you don't want to make a scene. Nothing. You're just there for autographs. You don't want to, nothing illegal. Everything's on the up and up. So you stand outside. And guys will go for lunch if you want to spend the time there. Like I said, a bus will leave at 4:30. But a lot of guys will stop at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. They'll go in and out and their lunch. They go shopping. They're doing things. So you'll catch a lot of guys that way. Really, a lot of guys that way. If you want to stay at the hotel the whole time and not go to the ballpark at all, just stay in front and in front of the lobby. The bus will eventually pull up, and the players will start coming into the bus one at a time. About 3:30, the bus will arrive. And one at a time, they're not all coming in at one time, so you got a really great chance to get one at a time. You could really get so many autographs, that way also, with the visiting players, of course. But if you want to do both home and visiting, you have to go to the park to do both on the same day. All right, and be careful of, the stadium. You got to keep your eyes open when you're at the stadium. You got cabs coming. You got private cars coming, dropping people. You would never think it's a private car. You go, it's just somebody pulling up, somebody works it. No, all of a sudden now pops somebody big. It was one time all of a sudden there comes a Rolls Royce pulling up. I had no idea who it was. We were running for the Rolls Royce, me and my son. Who pops out? Randy Johnson. So you got to be aware. Every car, everything, everybody. You just don't know. And the entrances and where they're coming out, it's difficult. It was difficult, but once you get it down pretty good, you got it. So when the bus arrives, you wait for the visiting team bus to come out. It's 4:30. You're done for the day. All the players are in, say by 3:30, 4 o'clock. Mostly everybody's in by then if they're coming by cab or by train. If they're coming by bus, like I said, the rest of the team will be on the bus, and it's usually half the team, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, depending on the team, depending on the day or whatever. So when the bus comes, key yourself on one guy. If you haven't seen one player yet that you haven't seen, wait for that one guy. Have his card ready, have his photo ready, whatever, and just go for that one guy, and you'll get him. Because everybody's going for different players, all right? If you're going for that big star, you're going to have a little problem, all right, if he happens to show. But if you're going for a lesser-known player, you're going to get that guy so easily. It's not even going to be not hard at all. So, things like that, you just got to keep up with it. It's just got to once you know the routine, it becomes fairly routine for everybody, And like I say, you always got to be polite. You always thank the player, because you're going to see them more than once, hopefully. They'll remember you. I had plenty of remembers. Oh, you again. Yeah, me again. But, I got a million cards that you got. I'm not going to throw all your cards at you one time, so I give you 2 at a time. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Depending on who it was, Most players were cool. One guy who wasn't cool, I'm calling you out now, Dave Magadan. He says, what, am I going to sign for you every day? I go, well, why not? I go, pretty much, I had a lot of cards from him. I wasn't going to ask him every day for 2, 3. He was a one card at a time. So if you have 5 or 6 cards, I needed to see him 5 or 6 times. So he wasn't very happy. He never signed much after that for me. I never even asked him again. I was pretty much done with him. But, like I said, I don't want to miss anything. I got a couple of notes written down here. Oh, on a getaway day is important. Don't go when it's getaway day for the visiting team. All right, because most of them are going to take the bus that day. No one's going to take the train because they got to be dressed up in suits. It's a travel day for the team. They're all in suits. All teams travel in suits when they travel. So on the traveling day, they're dressed up. They don't want to go nowhere near a Sharpie. A lot of guys have complained in the past. Oh man, my shirt got shot. Nope, stay away. No, don't even go. They don't want to sign. A lot of people are going to be on the bus. it's not worth the wait. It just never is worth the wait. Same thing with the home team too. A lot of guys are traveling with their luggage and stuff. But here's the difference with the home team. This is a real big secret. Okay, I'll tell you this. Yankee ball. I got a Yankee ball sign, a complete ball sign. Look at this this is everybody. It's Mattingly, it's the whole crew, it's the Showalter days. I'm not gonna go through the whole ball, but how I got it. How did I get this whole ball signed? I mean, it's like 23 signatures on here in one day. In one day. All right. You got to know information. Again, back to key point number 1, information. All right. You got to know when the teams are coming and going. You can find that out so easily. The Yankees were coming back from a road trip, okay? So you know say they left Cleveland, the game ended 4 o'clock. They're on that plane by 6:30. They're getting to the stadium. They're flying to New York. Just figure it out. Know when the planes are going to come in. You're not going to wait there more than an hour or so. Never waited more than a half hour or an hour. It's just, you got to know, all right? So you get there, and here comes the team bus, and they all come off the bus. So it's kind of hard to get everybody one at a time as they're going in, So I got Mattingly going in, right? No problem. I got a bunch of guys going in, and then they're all coming out one at a time to their private cars because now they're just picking up their stuff, they're bringing their bags home, whatever. So now they're all coming out one at a time. That's how I was able to get this ball one at a time, pretty much as they came back out of the stadium to go back to their cars to go home. So no problem with that. And Mattingly was the only one on the way out. Second time, he says to me, "Didn't I sign for you on the way in?" I go, "Yeah, but I got a photo. I had a magazine, a Beckett magazine." So I said, "Yeah, Don, buddy, you signed the ball. I love this photos, a Beckett magazine sign." All right, he did it. So that's another way. Same thing with the Mets. Any team, when they're traveling. If they're going on a road trip, okay, say it's Monday. And the last game say it's a Sunday, all right, Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, last game of the week. They're off Monday, okay? Say they're off Monday. They got to be in San Francisco on Tuesday. They're not leaving Sunday night. They're leaving Monday, all right, usually in the morning or afternoon. You can get there and wait one at a time. They'll all come in one at a time, and it's slowly one at a time. All right, so there's no rush. There's no collectors there. There's maybe one or two other smart collectors. All right, or somebody I might have shared information with. A friend of mine, a couple, we did that. So that's how you get a whole team in one shot. And you can do that at any ballpark. Know the travel dates. Find out the travel dates. Call up the traveling secretary. They'll tell you all this information. They really will. You just want to get autographs. It's not a big deal to them. They'll share that information. All right. So we had the ball, we had that, and I just want to show you what you can get. Oh, look at this. This is a 800 count box, and it's full of, and I have like 3 or 4 of these. I don't know how many I got in them. I don't even know what's it. This is all random. These are all autographs, every single one. Just to give you an example, I'll pull out just a handful out of here. I don't even know what I'm pulling out, but just want to give you an idea of what you can get. All right. There's Felix Millan. All right. I'll just go through them quick. Mike Remlinger. Let me get my hands straight here. Luis Alicea. Backwards. All right. It's just an example of what you can get. Here's another Luis Alicea. See, I must have saw he did 2 in a row for me. This, I got Mike Perez. It's just, like I said, it's commons. Or you guys say base cards now. Mike Perez. It's a Jose Cardinal with the Yankees. Well, he was the Yankee coach at the time. That's how I probably got him with the Yankee coaching. Here's a nice Chris Chambliss. Lance Parrish. So it's like I said, it's all random. I have nothing in order. I have nothing, like these are just my common guys. Here's Bob Walk, and when I got him as an announcer, all right, as an announcer. So like I said, I can just go to fan these out for. This is just a handful, all right. Who's that? Rookie there? It's Rico Brogna, I think. On and on and on and on and on. And this is just a section of one box. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You could just make a huge collection. I mean, if you want to put the time in, you got to put some time in, of course. You have to love what you're doing, first of all. You have to really love this. It's just something you just do for the heck of it. You got to love what you're doing. That really makes it so much easier because you're going to get rejected a lot of times. Don't forget, not everybody's going to sign every single time. You're going to miss guys. Some guys are going to be in a hurry. And they'll tell you, "I'll catch you on the field." I go, "But I'm not going to the game." And even if I did go to the game, I'm not getting down to the railing, to the field. I got tickets in the upper deck. Now how am I getting down there? So they don't understand that. They try to be nice, some guys, when they throw you off a little bit. But, and that's pretty much it. I think I covered it all, guys, for you should start your collection, how to get the collection. But not easy. A lot of work, well worth the payout, and we're just talking about baseball. I'm not even talking about all these celebrities back there. Like we got Travolta, Roger Daltrey, Don Henley, all right? Placido Domingo, Donnie, Marie. I got thousands of celebrity autographs as well. How? How did I do that? That's another show. So don't forget, subscribe, like, ring the bell. Please do all that for me, please. And you wrestling fans, stick with me too. Come on, guys. I'm wearing the NW shirt for you guys. So I'll see you on the next episode of Baseball King Collectibles.